Happy Wednesday. Today we're talking about what it looks like to get your real estate license. So if this is something that you have been considering, I really hope you get an opportunity to watch this video. It is very humid today, so disregard my hair and the fact that I'm probably going to be messing with it, and I'll try not to. So the main thing people always ask is obviously what's the cost, what's the process, and what can I expect after that? I think that's a huge part that a lot of people leave out is what it actually looks like to work in real estate. So we'll be going over that as well. As far as actually getting licensed, it differs in every state. I would definitely recommend looking up your state requirements if you are local here. I always recommend starting with Tennessee because if you have your Tennessee license, it is one of the harder states in the country to obtain. And so getting Georgia, Alabama is much easier if you already have Tennessee. If you have a specific state or a couple of states and you're kind of considering, I can help guide you to find what is reciprocated and what is not. And what that means is typically, there's a process that you have to go through in each state to obtain a real estate license, but some states will recognize your license from another state and make it a little bit easier. For example, if you already have a Tennessee real estate license and you go to get Georgia, you'll apply reciprocal. And then instead of having to do the full courses, you'll just take your post licensing course through Georgia State specifically. And it's a lot shorter. They also give you a year to do that. So they'll literally hand you a license because you have one in Tennessee and you have a year to complete the state exam. Alabama's a little bit the opposite. They do the same, but you have to test first. But I digress. Starting with Tennessee, it is a 60-hour pre-licensing course, a 30-hour post-licensing course, and your exam. The 30-hour you can take before or after your exam. Personally, I encourage you to do both of them first. I felt it very helpful to have that information before testing. When you take your exam, something a lot of people don't realize is that you're actually taking two exams, right? So you're testing for the state level and also your national real estate exam. So it is possible for you to pass or fail only one of them and not the other. Which then, if that happens, we can go over that too. There's retesting options, but do keep in mind which section you are on because some things that are specific to the state are not specific nationally, and you can get questions wrong because you're not paying attention to which one you're on. All in, it depends where you do it. In Chattanooga specifically, we do have two in-person real estate schools. One is called Trees. It's in the Eastgate area, actually really close to our office. So if you're there, walk on over, say hi. The other one is Success Real Estate School, and that's on Gun Barrel. So if you prefer an in-person option, definitely go to one of those. There are also online options. I really like the CE Shop. I do a lot of continuing education through them, and I think the platform is just very helpful if you're going to do online. Personally, I recommend in person if you can, just because it's all new information, but it really depends on how you learn. All in, depending on where you get your licensing, for those two classes, your exam and your license application, you're looking at around $700. From there, you'll need to join the association in order to get MLS access, be able to open lock boxes. It also gives you access to some courses that are free included in that membership or at a cheaper cost. That can run around $2,000. The nice thing is they prorate it. So unless you come in at the time of the year where it's exactly that price, you're going to pay less. But all in all, I'd budget, $2,500 to $3,000 to get started. Also, obviously consider that real estate is commission only. So it's not like, you go show up at 9 a.m. on Monday and you're getting a paycheck. You get in what you you get out what you put in, which is one thing I really, really love about it. Because if you are willing to work hard, the sky's the limit. But there are days where you wake up and you don't know what to do with yourself and you have to figure it out because guess what? You're self-employed. You are required to work under a broker for 3 years. And that, in theory, is so that you have a mentor helping you and someone who knows what's going on. When you're interviewing brokerages, definitely figure out how they're set up, what your payment structure is going to look like, what support you're offered, what the expectations are, and make sure that you're finding a good fit. But keep in mind, you do ultimately create your own schedule. That's one of the fun things when people are like, oh, what's your day look like in real estate? Which day? It's all very different. Some days I am answering phone calls when I wake up in the morning, literally taking them in the shower, running all day, every day, back-to-back appointments, answering calls on offers or client questions or agent questions. And then I might not get home until 9 o'clock at night. And then I may be writing an offer at midnight and negotiating into the wee hours of the night and then start all over the next day. Other days I wake up and I'm cleaning up my files, or I'm reaching out to people I haven't talked to in a while, or just going to networking events, volunteering, things that are helpful to myself and the community because I have availability that day. So it really just depends. Definitely need to be doing prospecting, which that looks like a lot of different things, but ultimately it's things that are going to get you business. If someone asked you a couple months ago what their house is worth, you hopefully followed up and went there and helped explain it and figured out why they asked. If they were like, oh, we're thinking about selling, maybe eventually, cool. Well, if it's been a few months, that's someone I might want to reach out to and say, hey, the prices in your area have gone up or down or whatever they've done since our conversation. This is what it would be updated if you haven't made any changes. And it's not, hey, let me list your house. You need to move because I need to check. Yes, that's how we make money, but that's not how we operate. But it is just providing the next level of value so that they can keep tabs on it, because we all really want to know things and we love to follow the easiest thing. I'm guilty of it. I have a Credit Karma account. I know darn well that is not my credit score. I still check it because I can see things that have changed. And then if it's something really important, I can reach out to someone who actually will pull my correct credit score and tell me what it is. Same thing with Zillow's estimates. Everyone's like, oh, cool, my estimate is X amount of money. Do you know that typically those are about 30% off one way or another? So either you're way overpricing your home in your head or you're leaving a ton of money on the table. So if you're someone who really watches that estimate, reach out to an agent friend, or if you're looking at getting your license, you can practice doing it as well once you are licensed, and just kind of see what that value actually would be in the market. So I do a lot of those too, just spending time giving people information that I may or may not get anything out of. But the beauty of it is that you become the expert. And I've had a lot of people refer clients to me or want to work with me because I've given them something helpful at some point that I didn't even really consider it going out of my way to do. If you would like to see what we do, you're always welcome to kind of tag along. I'm happy to show you our backend systems, what everything looks like, what all of the ongoing expenses are, because they do add up, how I figure out home values, trying to think of what else. Legally, you can't accompany showings if you're not licensed. But if I'm doing an open house, you're more than welcome to stop by and I'll run you through that. So pretty brief as normal. I end up rambling a little bit. I apologize. But since I've gotten a number of questions around what's it look like to be a real estate agent and what do you do all day and how do I get licensed? It's just a little tip of the iceberg into what it is. But every day is a new day. There's always something new to do, and it keeps life very interesting. It also allows me to schedule, for the most part, work around family events and things like that, which is really, really nice. But then you have things like this weekend when I have out-of-town buyers coming in. And so no matter what I want to do, they come first. But all of that's just part of the job. It's something very, very different from a 9-to-5. So if you've never experienced anything like that and you're curious, let's go ahead and have a conversation and see if it'd be a good fit. But again, full commission is not a consistent source of income, at least when you're starting. But if you put in the work, you can do really, really well. So if it's something you're considering, reach out, let's have a conversation, see if it would be a good fit. We can put a plan together for action steps you can take once you get licensed before you even start the process so that you have a roadmap ready to go and you're a little bit more confident. But I hope this has been educational and I will see you guys next week.